You pressed the button. I saw it this time. I saw it.
Welcome back to the Dylan Pollock Hour. Is how we were supposed to. We agreed upon
Let's take that again.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
My little backwards golf clap that I had to do.
Just the fact that we did that at all. Okay. Now for...
You know all of this is going
Yeah,
on,
no.
right?
Okay, take 3. 3, 2, 1.
Oh. Yeah, that's how it should be. That's about the distance of it usually on Zoom.
Welcome back.
Welcome
to the Dylan Pollock Hour.
Dylan Pollock Hour.
Brought to you by Dylan Pollock Incorporated.
Sponsored by the ABC Network and viewers like you. Thank you.
Isn't that PBS?
Listener like you. Yeah, I could not for the life of me think of PBS. I was sitting there, sponsored.
You look like you were thinking really hard.
Yeah, I did the eye squint. That's how you know.
I knew.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back to
Jump
on
the
Bat-Wagon.
Yay.
We are in the theme room.
I can actually slap you this time.
I thought you were going to do it. I was excited.
I'm not. Well, I mean, we're consenting adults here.
I need to, at some point, offload this card. We have enough time for this episode, but not more.
It sounds like you're going to need to offload this card before we start. Where's the... Oh, is it that little...
It's that little.
We're running on empty.
No, we're okay. Hi, this is where we watch through the entire DC animated... This is where we watch through the entire DC animated universe, from start to finish, in the controversial air date order. Brian's beckoning like, next. Brian here. I'm James. That's Brian.
I'm Brian.
Brick. Broderick.
I'm Brick.
Broderick.
I'm Broderick. I'm Broderick Lees. What? There's another one we... Oh, it's just Broderick.
Brian, Brick, Broderick Lees. Broderick Cleaston. Broderick Cleveland is next. Broderick Cleveland here has never seen any of the DCAU prior to starting this podcast. He is on his 31st episode today. What an
31.
achievement. What an achievement to make it this. You know, in like 10, little over 10 episodes from now, like 13-ish episodes from now of the podcast, we'll be halfway through Batman the Animated Series. Can you believe that? Only 10.
So 30% more than we've already done is only halfway through.
Do you like that? Is that a cool? Are you excited by that? Or are you horribly scarred, like afraid of that?
I'm actually excited. I was thinking about how the show might have a slightly different vibe when we like start watching Superman. Mm-hmm. We're like, jump on the Bat-Wagon. We're watching Superman. Just has a weird connotation. I'll have to start a whole new podcast called Jump on the
Super Wagon.
Jump on the Man Wagon.
Jump on the plane? Bird? with question marks. Well,
Yeah.
I explained a while back that like the name is fitting because Batman and or Batgirl appear in every one of the shows we will be watching.
Oh,
so
okay.
Bat-Wagon applies no matter what. Even though, yeah, I do feel it will be kind of like, we're watching the Zeta Project. Like, okay, why?
I'm ready for some.
Why would you ever do that? Is what everyone said.
After so many years of like your videos and talking and stuff of like just hearing about the Zeta Project, I'm like,
all of
ready
our
for
Zeta
some
Project videos that we haven't made.
That's
never will.
You've talked about them in your videos though.
Yeah, we've started kind of like on purpose on social media. If someone will be like, when are you guys gonna do a Zeta Project video? I'll just be like, who? Like, what is that? Just to continue the theme.
It's like an 80s prog rock band.
Yeah. We should start one called that. I doubt anyone else has done it. Today we're watching Batman the Animated Series episode Dreams in Darkness.
AKA Kevin Conroy's favorite episode.
we think. It might be one that doesn't exist called Dreamscapes. This is the 28th episode produced and 31st to air. Pretty close.
Okay.
Original air date is Tuesday, November 3rd, 1992. We skipped Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Because Fox,
adults, 4:30 p.m. Written by Judith and Garfield Reeves Stevens.
Oh, okay.
Reeves-Stevens.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one they did recently, though.
They did the one that we both liked, and we're like, oh, husband and wife team, good combo.
Yeah.
It was
A Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne, right? Because they wrote good Joker dialogue.
Yeah, that's
was
right.
The main thing. Takeaway. Directed by Dick Seabass.
Oh, we're done with Frank Power
For the moment, yeah. Music by Todd Hayen and animation by Studio Junio. Now, we have had one other episode by Studio Junio. Do you remember what it was?
Absolutely not.
It was The Underdwellers.
Oh.
However, I sincerely think that episode was an outlier of Studio Junio because there was a previous episode that was a bad episode. I can't remember what it was. It was one of the maybe Prophecy of Doom or something like that, I think, where Bruce Timm. There was a quote that I read in trivia where Bruce Timm was like, "Oh man, I think it was Prophecy of Doom," because he was like, "I can't." The planet's battle at the end sucked. If only it had gone to something like Studio Junio or this thing. So like he was like wishing it had gone to a better studio than ACOM, aka the one that did Underdwellers. So I have to assume that means that Underdwellers was like a weird fluke and that it'll be fine. Because I'm also thinking of this episode we're about to watch in my head and going, didn't look bad.
Okay.
So we'll find out together.
I'm nervous though.
I know. I've set it up for. I thought about. I was listening I was catching Jessica up in the car ride. That's my wife. In the car ride.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't aware.
Yeah, I'm telling you. We were on Mad as a Hatter, and we were listening to that, and that was the one where I had forgotten to mention any of the credits before we started, and you had guessed this must be ACOM because it looks bad. And then afterward, I revealed that, yes, it was ACOM. Is it better if I don't tell you the animation studio beforehand these days?
No.
Now that you're starting to learn them?
No, I think it's like
to change your interpretation.
No, because I don't think I have a high enough confirmation bias that I actually mess it up. Because like maybe it was the Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne.
The Bruce Strange of Secrets.
The Bruce Streak Secrets.
Harry Potter and the Stranger of Bruce's Secrets.
But in that episode, we'd be like, oh wow, the art's actually pretty good. Like knowing that it was ACOM, it's supposed to be shit, and then like they got off the plane and it was suddenly bad art. We're like, oh, there's ACOM.
I guess that's better because if you don't know, then you're just guessing in the episode and maybe like 3% of your brain isn't paying attention. Where it's like, is this ACOM? Is this Dong Yang? What is this?
Jamie, we both know my ADHD can only focus on one thing at a time, so it'll definitely be, is this Dong Yang? Is this ACOM? Who's doing this?
Yeah. Is Two-Face the King of England? Or did I miss an episode where he became the King of England? The air date order messed it up.
The Man-Bat became the King of England. No.
Before we start the episode, I want to give you your birthday present. Are you ready?
Oh my God. Can we, when you're doing this, can I talk about like how funny it was that you sent me a Snapchat of you harmonizing with yourself from the last podcast? Singing happy birthday.
Yeah. I had to make it a full
You had to make
choir.
the prophecy true of
someone listening
there.
to this. It was me again. Yeah. Okay, let me do all the crunchiness. Happy birthday.
What is this?
It's
What is
a
this?
figure.
What? Am I a nerd?
Open the little side door thing. You can see what it actually looks like. It's a Robin. If you look at the side, you can see they also do other characters. There's a Batman.
There's a Catwoman.
I really wish that they had the chicken-looking penguin. There's a penguin. He has like an orange mohawk-looking thing that makes him look more chicken-like than penguin-like. And I was hoping that was there, but this was the only one that they had.
I'm excited.
There you go. Yeah, you're a nerd now. You get collectibles for your shelf.
So now what? Actually, I have some shelf space that needs to be filled up.
Good.
Is this a like? Do I leave this in the package?
No,
or
take
it out?
Take it
okay,
out.
I want to. Thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome.
I got a Batman.
I forgot to take
swag.
the price tag off, so don't look at that.
Where is it?
It's on the front.
Can you get it?
Sure.
I'm gonna open it up.
Yeah. Let's not have you open it on the podcast.
No, we're doing it.
Oh,
we're doing it.
Oh, okay.
We can go watch the thing.
Oh God. Sorry, listener.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Now you can only see that it cost and 0 cents.
No. I like the magnets on that box. That's cool. That's a swanky box.
I didn't know that was there. I was like, can I see what it actually looks like? And the girl's like, yeah, you just opened this part of the box. Like, oh, whoops.
Oh, I gotta.
He's probably attached. What's the name of the, like, oh, it says DC Artists Alley, Robin, what? What does it say? Yeah, great ASMR there. What's the, hand me the box.
Okay.
Here's the box. For the listener to look this up, DC Artist Alley Robin by Joe Ledbetter, DC Collectibles. It's a Robin. There's a Catwoman, a Penguin, and a Batman also. It says collect them all, but you can't.
I'm happy with a dick bird.
Yeah, they should. It's not even a Robin. It's just a penis-shaped Robin. What? His name is Dick. What do you expect? Master Dick, it says. I don't know what. He's got quite the kooky stance there. It's kind of monkey-ish.
Yeah, I know. He's got some big arms.
Oh, it's cause, oh no, I think it's because in the image he's supposed to just be like hovering. He's flapping his wings, but his giant Robin gloves are draping off of his hands, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm cool with this. I actually, I gotta get that $2 out of the way, but I think it's still yours.
Yeah, you slap down.
There you go.
Several. Oh, thank you so much.
Is that a good point of, what do you call that?
Switching to us watching the episode so the listener can stop listening to us looking at a thing they can't see?
Oh, dear God, yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's time we had another chat, Batman. Now, tell me about this supposed gas again.
I've already told you. When the gas is put into Gotham's water supply, the entire city will be affected. Why won't you believe me? Easy.
Well, how could such a complex plan be implemented without attracting attention? I think this plot is just another delusion. And deep down, you believe so too. Otherwise, why come to Arkham? The one place where costumed delusional personalities can receive compassionate help.
I didn't come here for help. I came to find the criminal behind all this.
Really, Batman? As if a criminal could run an outside operation from in here? Jack Napier, Harvey Dent, Pamela Isley? Or as you call them, the Joker, Two-Face, and Poison Ivy. We keep them all under constant watch.
They're not responsible for this madness. There's only one criminal twisted enough to come up with such a scheme. The Scarecrow.
Professor Crane? What nonsense. I saw him this morning in his cell. He's probably asleep even as we speak.
Can you do that again? There was some comments will come in on the Podtower that I won't end up reading on this because they're on like past episodes, and I'm not going to go like search through new comments on older episodes.
Okay, yeah.
But there was one that came in that was like a time code from the episode, and then from the podcast episode, and then like that scared the shit out of me. And I was like, why did I go to it? And it's you just going, ah! into the microphone. I don't remember what the context was or why, but I was like, oh yeah, if you didn't know that was coming, that would be pretty scary.
Like we were talking about before we hit record, I'm the loud one.
Right,
I think of the duo. I'm the one who's most apt to scream.
And unintentional segue.
Oh.
Sincerely unintentional. You know what else scared the shit out of Batman is this episode, which the plot was : it's not about
apostrophe.
The plot was $,
close parentheses.
Yes.
Winky face. Yeah, I can tell you what happened.
Okay.
How much detail do you want? Do you want like a 10? Do you want like a 5? Or do you want like a 1?
You haven't had an average this so far. What?
Just pick a number and I'll go for it.
Give me a 6.
A 6. I can give you a
Wait,
6.
is 10 as detailed as possible, or is 1?
A 10 is like going to take longer for me to explain than the episode itself.
Yeah, give me a 6.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Listeners,
That'll
ready?
be about 12 minutes. Hold on.
Just tell me what happened
The
in the
show
episode like a normal
opens
person.
on
Yes.
Arkham Asylum.
Correct.
And we find out
Wait. Yes. Sorry. For some reason I thought that the steam drill hand man was this first scene, but no, that's the first scene of his like flashback.
First thing you see is Arkham Asylum.
Yes.
And we find out that the Batman is in there and he's in a straitjacket.
Newest prisoner or whatever.
Yep.
Not prisoner, but
Basically.
Patience.
And he's all in costume still. Batman's in a straitjacket locked up and they're all like, "You're delusional as fuck." And he's like, "You gotta believe me." That was a weird voice.
That was good. You gotta believe me that I'm in a straitjacket. No, we see that, Batman.
We move forward to a rather lengthy, like film noir style voiceover from Batman explaining his situation.
It wasn't quite as cheesy as Tiger.
No, it was not as
bright.
cheesy.
It was just like, oh, okay, this is happening.
It was also very recent, so it made it a little more cheesy, but the same.
Yeah, I thought this was. It all started like 2 hours ago. I have to go back all the way
to 2 hours
last night. Yeah.
So then we get some flashbacks. Batman is in he's at a health spa kind of place, whatever that was called.
Yeah. You thought it was the Eternal Yapth
I did.
place, but no. You're like, oh, this place again.
Yeah.
Like, no,
nope, not again. First time, Bri. So Batman finds Mr. Drill Hand in the basement who's trying to taint the water supply of this health spa.
Famous Batman villain, Mr. Drill Hand. Yeah. I did kind of like that guy's design. Like, that's kind of a
cool.
unique, like, he's not like super villain level colorful costume cool guy, but he's like somewhere above average thug.
And also when kind of jumping around here, when he ended up in the hospital himself, they didn't bother to take off his punchy screw hand. They just kind of left it there.
He still had like an extremely dangerous weapon attached to his hand. Yeah.
He's got an arm weapon, but we're just going to leave that there.
Yeah. It's surgically attached.
Anyway, we find that upon fighting Mr. Screwy Drill, what did I call him just a second
Professor
ago?
Screw Eyes. I don't know. Mr. Drill Hand.
Mr. Drill Hand. He kind of foiled the plot, but some gas was released, and they both start having a bad time. Batman's hallucinating, and we're all like, "Oh no, what red mist could make Batman see bad things happen?" And
a little too much of that, I think, of just like, there was someone that had a fear toxin, and I just couldn't figure out who it was.
Yeah,
and like Batman is Scarecrow. There was only one person I thought it might be. Yeah, is Batman it's Scarecrow? Like everybody knows that. I mean, it's a children's program. I get
no,
it.
it's not. It's on Fox Kids.
Adults.
No,
right?
It's on Fox Adults. So Batman gets all inoculated with fear gas and is having a bad time, and he's trying to solve crimes, but he's not, and he's captured, and he can't get out of the place, Arkham Asylum. And then eventually he's like, gets out of the place. There's a gunfight with there's a tranquilizer gunfight.
Yeah.
With
one
some
trank
guards.
each.
Everybody just gets one. And the other, that guy had two, but he had a really hard time
reloading it. Yeah. He's so scared of Batman. He didn't even have the field toxin with him.
Let's see. Batman finds out, he gets led to the sewers where Scarecrow and cronies are.
What happens first in the sewer system or the underground?
Oh,
river?
He has quite a hallucinatory experience
He does.
involving the Joker, and then
a rat turns into the Joker.
A rat turns into the Joker, and then Penguin comes out of the ground and is like the
Joker
size of
does
a building.
this like Yu-Gi-Oh summoning spell, and the Penguin bursts from the floor.
Normal things.
And then the Penguin's head explodes.
Yeah, so the Penguin grows big, the Penguin's head explodes, and suddenly the Penguin is Two-Face. So now I guess he's like Three-Face? Or like Two-Face, Two-Body?
one human face, one blue face, one chicken face. The penguin almost goes rock when his head blows up, but it's just like a human scream. There's actually a lot of decently like creepy things, I think, in this episode.
Totally.
Especially like leading up to this moment when the door just opens and there's just no music, but just a creepy red light coming in. Like it was just silent and yeah. That
actually,
oh God.
I went completely over that, but it's probably one of my favorite art things in this episode, because it reminded me, it was like a hallucinatory kind of dream sequence of Bruce seeing his parents, like, and it was like very reminiscent of my own dreams and how physics like doesn't work most of the time.
Running down a hallway and the hallway's getting longer and
that kind of thing.
It's not shaped quite right. Yeah.
And Batman watches, or Bruce, whatever, watches his parents like walk into this tunnel. He's like, no. And then the tunnel like starts coming out of the ground and it's a giant pistol with like seemingly blood pouring out of it, which I think is like a cool metaphor in itself. But
the actual moment of it happening is really like impactful and dramatic. Like it shoots at him, and the big blast. But we like accidentally made it funny by saying like, and then Bruce's parents shoot out of it, like two tiny bullets. We're bullets.
I was thinking like the circus shows, like the people get shot out of the cannon and they just go like launching through.
Where there's just two tiny humans. Why didn't you save us? Run faster, asshole.
We'll see you in the next state. What country is Gotham in America?
Yeah, it's in New York.
Gotham is in New York?
In this universe, yes.
Really?
We know this from Joker's favor. He holds up the guy that owes him a favor. He holds up his license at one point, and it says Gotham City, New York.
I always thought it was just based on New York City.
Is
it a borough?
It goes between different like continuities have different like it's either a New York City replacement or it's also in New York, or sometimes it's in New Jersey, sometimes it's right across the bay from Metropolis, other times it's in a completely different state from Metropolis, that's the Superman city.
Okay, so come on. That makes it worse because there are no cactuses growing
in New York.
There's no canyons,
there's
no sandstone canyons in New York.
Well, there's also no Batman, so that we know of.
You can't prove that.
You've never seen me and Batman in the same room.
Oh my God, we're off track.
He's in the water hole with the Scarecrow and his dudes.
They have a fight. Batman overcomes his fear. Batman makes the explodey stuff happen because things explode in Gotham, and the Scarecrow gets a rather large dose of his own medicine. Mm-hmm. And then Batman takes a 2-day nap, and an upside down bat flexes in front of the moon and makes some nightlight action happen.
That was a very weird, like, how do we end this? Batman's in bed, but in the Bat cave.
Yeah, why doesn't he just go up to his own bed rather than like a bed awkwardly placed in the middle of this massive, uncomfortable cave?
That way, if he's asleep and someone comes over and needs to do important business with Bruce Wayne, Alfred has to come up with a complicated explanation for where he is instead of, he's in his room. Are you sure? Let me go check. Well, I don't see him in bed. Oh, he's in the basement bed. Well, don't look down there.
He's down in the Bat Cave.
Now I have to kill you, he says.
Alfred just got like a body shoot in the entranceway.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different entrances to the Bat Cave. One of them's blocked off right now from all the all the
solicitors?
Yeah, solicitors that come by. Have you I need to speak to Mr. Wayne about the Bible. Not this again.
Have we talked to you about our Lord and Savior Lord?
Yeah, heaven. All right. Official synopsis.
Give it to me.
When Batman attempts to thwart the Scarecrow's plan to poison Gotham's water supply with a chemical that induces nonstop nightmares and hallucinations, the Dark Knight is infected with the concoction. Unable to tell reality from fantasy, he is committed to Arkham Asylum. He must find a way to escape and stop the Scarecrow from plunging the people of Gotham into a nightmare without end. That's it.
Wow.
It sets it up in a good way. He doesn't tell you what happens in the episode. This is how they should all be.
I can't have that.
Oh. I think a better, like, more mysterious way would be to be like, some bad guy is doing this thing. But the fact that it's like, well, there's a fear toxin.
Hey, I'm giving that a 7 out of 10. That's maybe the best we've had so far.
Yeah, just the mystery is established, but I won't tell you. Then Tigress at the very last 5 seconds does this.
Right.
Yeah, this was a good episode, Brian.
This was a good episode, Jamie.
It was.
It was
not.
Wait.
Oh,
I don't remember which one is which.
what are you trying to do?
The theme song.
This one.
That's the one.
I should have told you the wrong one.
We had just a pause there, and I thought it would be great to just like.
It was.
It was a good episode.
Yeah.
Bang.
Goodbye, everybody. Yeah. Did you think it was like Sewer King level animation in this episode? I could see it sometimes.
Yeah, it wasn't. The art didn't really stand out to me, good or bad.
Yeah.
Except for they like went really hard on the light effects for like 13 seconds.
Yeah. It had like 6 lens flares coming off of it,
and it was all like the same flashlight and all different lighting effects.
Yeah. When
this?
he first turns it on, it has a really cool little like kind of like
Glinty,
star-shaped blast thing that comes out. And like, ooh. And then the next shot, it has its detached
like
being, and then the next shot, it has like 5 yellow lens flares
with the
spinning in different directions.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, is better than not doing anything, I guess, but
a bit distracting though.
yeah. I think it worked well right after that when the Joker is like walking out of the light, and there's a really cool shot of him doing that. That whole sequence, the nightmare hallucination stuff, both of those, the parents one and the bad guys one, plus Robin and Alfred, were all like pretty well animated, pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like, hey, Acom, make Penguin rise out of the ground, his head explodes, it turns into Two-Face, Two-Face's coin turns into a saw blade, the saw blade gets thrown at Batman, Batman falls down a chute and screaming. The Batman scream... Oh, it's a little lackluster.
Yeah, there's a couple of those things that, and I know that this is Kevin Conroy's first voice acting, right?
Yeah,
he is doing really well, as a newbie, but there's like some stuff where like,
could you give it a little bit more there?
The animation of like Batman being like dragged on the ground trying to stop himself from being pulled to a vest.
He's going
he's
to
just
die.
Like, Robin, Alfred, help me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And the animation is this guy like struggling with all his might. And he just, I mean, help.
I do wonder if that's like a disconnect between maybe in the script he's not supposed to be fighting it that hard, and so they voiced it like that, and then they animated it harder. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. But also that scream that went on for too long. And,
and then he breathed. You thought it was over, and then there was a gap. And, yeah. That also, that one shot has always bothered me. You had mentioned like Batman walks into the camera, it becomes black, and then it holds on black for like way too long before, and you can kind of see like an inch of the next frame pop in the corner, holds on that, and then starts panning over. The same thing happens when the camera goes like into Scarecrow's eye or mouth or whatever as Batman's falling. He's like falling into the like hell cavern in his nightmare, and then it becomes Scarecrow's swirling head. And the head like fills up the whole camera almost. There's just like the brim of his hat is stuck at the top corner. And I'm like, just go one more frame farther than that. I have to imagine it's the whole like the full frame of the animation. The like what is it called? The like the safe border or whatever.
Bleed
of like,
lines?
Yeah, the like this will actually be what people see broadcast on their TV. So the like half an inch around the edge of everything is like bullshit, whatever, do whatever there. I have to imagine that's what happens.
And it was just like a refilming error.
Yeah, just like it doesn't matter what happens in the corner there for both of those instances. But it's still just like I notice it every time. Kind of thing. Like, yep, here comes the part where just keep going. Just one more. Yeah. But yeah, it was really good stuff.
They did the good stuff.
Spooky episode.
It was a spoopy episode.
I was scared. I liked I've always really liked the part where he's just driving down the street and Robin's like, don't run into me. And then he careens off of the street and fucking like demolishes the Batmobile.
Yeah.
He's got to have like 6 of those at this point because they they get trashed every other time.
It's kind of amazing. They don't even bother to like address the Batmobile being there. Like it's upside down, pinned against 2 trees. They're just like,
let's just get him out of here.
Let's get Batman out of
Leave
there.
The car there. Another thing they didn't address was Batman letting that doctor woman take his blood, and then he leaves the blood with her, and no one goes, maybe we should test who this guy is.
Yeah, it kind of seems like a loose end.
Yeah, like I thought maybe because he like takes the antidote and slips out all Batman style out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were gonna maybe show and then she goes to grab the blood sample, but he also took that. But no, it's just still sitting there on the microscope.
Yep.
Ready to be Bruce Wayne identified.
Can we have a Brian, that's not how that works moment?
Oh, I have on my phone a note to record us somehow doing a reusable "that's not how that works" sound that I can press on the soundboard. I feel like we should like harmonize something. I don't know, like
Whatever you want to do, I'll follow suit.
maybe part of the Batman theme or something. That's not how that works. That's not here.
You want to do fifth or what?
You do that's, and then I'll do
that's not how.
Oh, the listener is so aggravated. That's that.
Not,
Wait, hold the bottom note. Okay. That's not how that works. Okay, I think that works. Should we do it again?
No.
Should we pick a different... let's just do this a different time.
We can use it. Whatever you want to do.
Anyway.
So the whole "that's not how that works" in regards to, and like with all of our amazing people working in healthcare these days, all the nurses and doctors and hospital staff and all these amazing people that we owe so much to. Y'all are the best. That's for you.
If there was one message I could send to the front line, you deserve that.
Yeah, and they're again, like plot device. I don't know if you want to press the button. There we go. A little bit of it. A little bit of a plot device.
Is what?
The nurse is like, oh, here's the antidote. Like drops it on the table, turns around to get one of the 3 like open, unsterilized syringes just hanging out in a shelf somewhere. And then she's going to go back. Like anybody anytime ever who's worked with a needle knows that like you get the needle, you have your thing prepared. It's all in your hand there. You're not going to like take out the like COVID vaccine and like drop it by your patient and then you go walk to get a needle.
I feel like the Arkham doctor does that too when he's going to give him the sedative. Is he just whips out a needle from his pocket, just completely ready. Like, yeah, I've been saving this for just such an occasion.
It's my pocket syringe.
Yeah, you don't got one of these in your utility belt. Come on, man. Cast, okay? Kevin Conroy as Batman. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred. Richard Dysart as Dr.
Some lady.
Dr. Bartholomew, the Arkham Doctor.
I was so close.
He played Cagliostro in the Spawn 90s animated series. He played a character named Leland Mackenzie on 171 episodes of L.A. Law. That's probably what he's most famous
Beyond
for.
me.
He's also a barbed wire salesman in Back to the Future 3.
Normal things.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
I want to raise my microphone.
Yeah.
Tell me some more cast.
Okay. Takayo Fisher as Dr. Wu. She plays Mistress Ching in Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
There's a third one?
There's 5.
There's 5?
Yeah, I watched all of them recently. Don't do it. First one's good. She also plays Lo and Lee in Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's the 2 like old ladies in the Fire Kingdom. She is Meredith's hospital roommate in The Office. This is from... Have you watched The Office? You an Office person?
Not really.
Okay. There's an episode where
I'm not against it. I'm just...
Meredith character gets hit by a car in the first like 2 minutes of the episode.
Woof.
And then they do a something, like really, really long name, fun run for the cure, where they just do like a marathon run for like raising money for her hospital bills. And I guess this woman played her hospital roommate.
Awesome.
Yeah. Lauren Lester as Robin. Henry Pollock II as Scarecrow.
What? Dylan Pollock II?
Yeah, we made this joke before.
Damn
and
it.
Ron Taylor as Orderly. I think that's the big beefy guy that follows Dr. Bartholomew around. He played Klingon Chef in 2 episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He played 2 different characters, Muggsy and Bruno, in the animated film Rover Dangerfield.
Is that a Rodney Dangerfield
As
ripoff?
a dog.
Oh my
He's a
God.
dog.
We don't need that in the world.
He plays Lao Che in India. Oh, okay. So this was something that was confusing to me. So as far as I remember, pretty non-Asian man, this Ron Taylor. However, he plays the most Asian guy I've ever seen in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And I looked, because when I looked up this character, I was like, what? That's a different man. This guy apparently does the voice of that guy because that guy's English was bad or something like that. So it was just a really weird piece of trivia.
Whoa.
That I was like, okay. So, yeah, that's a thing. And also in Trading Places, the Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy movie, he plays Big Black Guy. So there you go. My favorite character of any media.
Big black guy.
Now, I have some of the biggest trivs we've ever seen for this episode. So
Do you want to cherry pick these so we don't have like 50? Oh, God.
I'll edit some out if I have to.
Okay.
But I'll just start. This is the second of 3 instances in BTAS where villains place Batman in a straitjacket.
Okay.
I think, what was the first one? Have we already watched it?
I don't recall.
I know what the third one is. I'm thinking of it right now. Don't look in my brain. It's spoilers in there.
Oh!
At all times.
The Joker
the
puts him in a
first
straitjacket?
No. What's the first one? Oh, no, it is. The first one is Joker putting him in a straitjacket upside down in the water trap in the Jordan Hill episode.
Wow. I feel like I should take some credit.
The notion that Jack Napier is the real name of the Joker is first mentioned here. This was his real name in Batman 89 as played by Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. But maybe that's why I heard that and it just kind of like, yeah, okay, the Joker, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... I can't remember. Let me get through the trivia.
Get through the trivs.
I can't remember if I bring this up again.
It's so big
here. The plot by the Scarecrow in this episode to poison Gotham City water supply by using Arkham's basement is similar to the main plot of the 2005 film Batman Begins.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Die Hard.
Yeah, just like the Ninja episode. The only major difference being that the Scarecrow was working with Ra's al Ghul, the plot's true mastermind, and the Scarecrow believed they were merely going to hold the city ransom, unaware that Ra's was actually going to unleash the toxin on the entire city.
Shoot.
Batman seeing hallucinations of the Joker resembles a plot point that would have occurred in the canceled 5th Batman film Batman Unchained, sometimes referred to as Batman Triumphant. This is like Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, then this one that never got made because Batman and Robin was terrible. Okay. He would have seen visions of Jack Nicholson's Joker while the plot of the movie revolved around fighting both the Scarecrow and Harley Quinn, who in this continuity would have been the Joker's daughter.
Ew.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting change there. Whilst the Joker's first laugh in this episode sounds like Mark Hamill's portrayal, the second and third sound are far too high-pitched. Lauren Lester, Nightwing's voice actor, I don't know why it says Nightwing, he's Robin right now, stepped in to fill the role for the episode. I noticed that when he does his Yu-Gi-Oh move and Penguin comes out, he goes like, like it doesn't sound anything like, yeah. I'm like, why?
Just for the lulz.
I guess so. When Batman is shown being wheeled in on a stretcher, he raves, "Robin, look out! Joker's got a bomb!" This could be a reference to Jason Todd, the second Robin in the comic book series, who was killed by a bomb set by the Joker. According to an interview published in the book Robin Rising, How the Boy Wonder's character evolved, Bruce Timm and Paul Dini actually considered adapting this story for the series, but declined upon deciding it was too violent.
Okay. Too violent for adults watching.
Yeah, on Fox Adults. Yeah, don't say God. Batman allows a doctor to take a blood sample without retrieving it after she studies it. This means she has his DNA and thus could discover his true identity. And lastly, this is one that I added because I knew a thing that not many people know. Dr. Bartholomew is drawn to resemble his voice actor Richard Dysart, designed by Dan Reba from memory via one of Dan's favorite shows, LA Law. So the voice actor looks almost exactly like Dr. Bartholomew, and Dan had sent me an image of his like first drawing of the character just to like, let me doodle. I'm just going to make him look like this guy. And then they got that guy to voice him. So
wow. So the art came first and then they got the guy that the art was based on.
I think so. I think that's the order it was in.
That's hilarious. I love it.
The best part about this, and I'm sorry, Dan, if you're listening, but I have to tell the whole story.
Oh no.
Was it?
Do you know?
When Dan first told me about this, he said, like, oh yeah, I based it on Richard Dysart's look from Saint Elsewhere, the TV show Saint Elsewhere, and I was like, oh, really interesting, and didn't bother to look any further than that. That he's not actually in that show. So when I was looking up, like, okay, let me confirm this trivia to put it in this podcast episode.
Right.
I kept finding results for him from LA Law, but not. And they're running at the same time. So like, I was like, maybe, I guess he must just, remember him from the wrong show or whatever. And that's what it wound up being was Dan, also watched LA Law all the time, and Clock King actor Alan Rachins, whatever, was on that show. So he's like, he just mixed up the names of the shows. That's all it is.
I mean, Kevin Conroy doesn't even know his favorite episode.
He doesn't even know what this episode's called. So, yeah. Yeah, that was just kind of a cool thing. And maybe I'll post that image of the drawing of the guy.
Do it
when I post this episode.
I want to see it.
Okay. That's all the trivs.
That's good trivs.
Yeah, thank
you.
Good,
like quality trivs, Jamie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I get. That's all I get.
That's not what I was hoping you were going for. That's also not it. Nope. Yep.
Oh. Let me just hit each one very quickly.
Is this Hydra's back? Nope.
No, it's not time for that yet, but now it is. No. To the future! Oh, wait. We didn't do any of the shit. Batman's usefulness.
I have a thing for this.
Okay.
I wrote down my first note.
Oh, that's right. I saw you taking your phone. I'm like, Brian, why would you take your phone out? And you were writing something down. Yeah.
I was not texting. I was writing.
Oh, you
down
wrote
a
down
I wrote down the thing that made me
yeah.
giggle so deep inside.
Okay.
Batman. Let's talk about his usefulness first.
Yes.
As we always do.
Not very useful.
He wasn't really useful for most of the episode, and then he got very useful at the end.
Because he stopped the entire city from essentially dying.
So I think it's like he gets like a half on it. Like he did really bad at the start, and he did like really pretty good at the end. So I'm going to give him like a 4.5. Can we do decimals?
Sure.
That's not a decimal. But can we do fractions?
0.5. Yeah.
I'm going to give him 4.5 entire cities screaming in fear out of 10.
Maybe we can hear them or whatever. Perhaps we'll hear them.
Like an entire city screaming in fear.
Not the people in it, just the city itself.
Yes.
It's like bird's eye view of giant mouth open. Sorry for scaring the shit out of that one guy for screaming in the episode.
Yeah. How about you? You got a rating?
No.
No?
I'll give it. I'll give him 3 out of 10 single trank darts.
They're 3 out of 10.
One trank dart. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. They had 10 total trank darts in the closet. They only grabbed 3. They only used 1. That's all I'm saying.
So 1 out of 10.
Are you gonna
1
give
out of 3
me,
out of 10?
It's me, the second guard with also a gun. Are you gonna give me it? No. There's only one.
I'm just gonna shaky hand this and wave it slightly in Batman's direction.
Like Batman grabbing the axe and just the shot of him like cutting the straitjacket open. He's just like dry humping the axe. Like, what are you doing in the corner there, Batman?
For me, I couldn't figure out if it was the animation. It looked like rotoscoping of either like a dog like dragging its butt on the grass or the carpet, or like a bear scratching its back against a tree.
Yeah.
Batman just kind of sitting there. I'm like, they could have done more of like a shoulder shimmy, but instead he's kind of doing this pelvic roiling.
Those videos of like music videos without the music, and they re-add all the sound effects. I'm gonna like do that with that shot, but extend it, like loop the animation. So, boom, 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 boom. Here we are in the corner, and the music's gone, and then Batman's just...
Can I please request that?
It's just doing just that motion for like 5 minutes.
If you could do just
Batman,
even like
Batman gets out of straitjacket with axe 10 hours on YouTube.
I would really like to see even just like a 10 to 15 second clip. If you could make that happen, I'd be very happy.
Okay. Are we putting this on the top 10? Because I think I am.
Are you?
I just have to find the top 10. There we go. Let's see. My top 10 in reverse: Feet of Clay Part 1, The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne, Pretty Poison, Perchance to Dream, Eternal Youth, Joker. Oh, I didn't change this one. I was like, oh, it's weird to read these with the right titles, but I forgot to change Joker's flavor. Joker's flavor.
What is his flavor?
I don't want to know.
Peaches.
Heart of Ice, Two-Face Part 1, Feet of Clay Part 2, On Leather Wings. I'm going to put this right after Perchance to Dream.
Okay.
Dreams in Darkness. So that bumps Feet of
Feet
Clay
of Clay
Part 1
off the
off.
list.
I've put this above Pretty Poison and The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne. Now, I bumped off Feet of Clay Part 1 because I felt like that wasn't a very strong episode. It's just attached to Feet of Clay Part 2, which was better and better animated, and I don't know.
Ironically, although it's a different place, I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna put it
right under Perchance to Dream. What's your top 10 in reverse?
Hey. Oh,
before you do
Feet of Clay Part 1, Perchance to Dream, The Strange Secret of Bruce
Robin Wayne.
Pav. Nothing to Fear, Cat in the Claw Part 1, Pretty Poison, Joker's Favor, Feet of Clay Part 2, and Heart of Ice.
It still says Feet of Trey.
It sure does. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to delete this and I'm going to put in, what's it called?
Dreamscape.
Done.
Do it, yeah.
Done. Dreamscape number 10. We got you, Kevin.
We'll never address again that's we'll just keep it there until it's off your list, and we'll always call it that, and never we'll just gaslight all the listeners. Oh yeah, no, Dreamscape was a really good episode.
We just, we got Kevin's been there for all of us. We're just going to be there for him.
Yeah. We're on your side,
Dan Reba.
Kev. And Dan Reba.
Yeah.
People forget, like you have already forgot. I thought that in the car ride, when we finish Batman the Animated Series, I would like to go in reverse through the episodes, and in one sentence you tell me the major plot, the main plot. This one would be Scarecrow tries to poison the water supply.
Absolutely,
and Batman loses his shit. No, we're doing that.
No way.
I'll give you.
I know the number one thing to do in improv, and I feel like this podcast is kind of improv, is the yes and. So I should always say yeah, and it'll be great. Hell no. Hell no.
Are you just afraid? Are you scared?
Yeah.
Scarecrow's fear gas?
You blasted me in the face with some of that Scarecrow Aquanet, and now I'm freaked out.
The Febreze, Scarecrow's raspberry Febreze. And that's the name of the podcast.
That is the subtitle of the podcast. Oh my God. Scarecrow's raspberry Febreze.
Buy it now wherever toxins are sold. All right. You know what it's actually time for now? No, I played that in real time later. No. No.
But it's mail time.
Okay. To the future for real.
Okay.
Hey, it's the future now.
Jamie. Don't you lie to me. I have scientific proof that it is the present.
It's the present. It's the present 2 days in the past stuck in the middle of an episode 6 days in the past.
No, I don't know
Let's
what
try
you're
to
saying.
keep up with it every time.
That's fake. That can't be true. This is now.
Oh, okay. Well, we have some to deal with. I don't know what I'm going to do differently this time. Probably nothing.
Sing it all in like fifths.
Extra yop, put it on.
Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail. Mail! That was close. I don't think I hit the first note right, but I don't want to have to change it every time. I want to just sing it. Now I've set the President's Day. You know,
You set the President's Day. I know.
I set President's Day. It was my doing. I said, "Take a day off from work, everybody. It's President's Day," and they listened to me for some reason, even though I have nothing to do with anything except internet videos about Batman.
Ta-da.
But they thought that was good enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we're in one.
Hey.
You best start believing in internet videos about Batman, Miss Turner. You're in one. That's from Pirates of the Caribbean 1 of 5.
Oh, that's still so upsetting to me.
I think that was in the episode we're inside of that we said that, but who's
That's
to say?
impossible. We are inside now. Now is today.
Now
the
is
present.
time. It's now time. It's time for, and I quote, what? I didn't hear her at all.
That was the lousiest, bassiest grunt she's ever done. Lousiest? Did I say lousiest?
That was the stupidest grunt you've ever done.
I meant to say loudest, but Sleepy Brain says nope.
Sleepy Brain. I have Tots, TAWTS, of the week, WEAK, from Dylan Pollock. Let's take a listen.
James, Bradley's, it can't be. That must mean it's time for the thoughts of the week from Dylan Pollock on Dreams in Darkness, or is Arkham covered by my health insurance? So first, Kevin Conroy's narration is chef's kiss, particularly that he narrates with the Batman voice and not the Bruce voice.
That's his voice.
Also, the fact that he has a vision of the Joker in the Batcave that turns into Alfred and he can't think of what the gas might have been. Come on, man. World's greatest detective. Come on. Talk about pushing the limits for children's TV with Batman's parents walking into a humongous revolver and Batman getting shot. And another villain cliche that I noticed this time. Why does Scarecrow have a countdown at all on his machine? Does the machine necessitate it? It doesn't seem to. Or does he just have a flair for the dramatic?
Probably.
And finally, a question for this episode. You're hit with the fear toxin, and the movie villain or horror villain you're most afraid of is coming to get you. Who is it? Comic book or not comic book related?
Okay.
Damn, Dylan's coming out swinging.
Yeah, I know. He's like testing us now. I don't want to have to think about things. I have I hadn't thought about the whole like Joker turning into Alfred thing being like a fear thing. I mean, obviously it was, but I guess it was just in the context of Batman trying to figure out like, what is this? It could have been like I don't know. Is he afraid of the Joker? I don't really think so. But I guess later he just sees all his villains anyway. What was the other thing that Dylan said?
What would our fear?
No,
thing be?
before that, between the two things, there was another thing. It was to do with the episodes. The countdown timer. That did seem superfluous because the timer just stops and then the machine doesn't go off. Like you'd think Scarecrow could just walk up and push go on the machine and it would do it.
I mean, that's like, I think, yeah, speaking of tropes, that's pretty on par with like any like old James Bond movie where it's just like, I'm going to tell you the entire plot and then give you 60 seconds to disarm this bomb while I leave the room knowing
Why
that
don't you
it's going
just
to go
shoot
off
him
without a
now?
hitch.
Why don't you just kill him? I'll take a gun. I got a gun in my room. I'll get it. We'll shoot him together.
That's not James Bond. That's Austin Powers.
Oh, man. Whoopsie. Foreshadowing for 3 episodes from now when Seth Green is in the episode that we've watched, but we haven't watched because it's the present. What are you talking about?
We've watched it. That was in the past. Right now is now.
The present. Now is now. I guess my movie, I don't know. I'm not very afraid of like horror people as in like I don't think any of them are gonna actually get me. But I guess like Alien from Alien is pretty scary, pretty creepy ass thing.
That would be bad. You'd have a bad time with that one.
I have had several xenomorph related nightmares, so I feel like that's probably the one that would show up if I had Scarecrow gas in me. If I had raspberry Febreze sprayed in my face.
I think mine would be baths.
Girl Scouts.
Yeah. Wait, what's the quote there? Like, showers use a third the water. They're just as refreshing. Or something.
It's been
like
a while
that.
since I've watched those, actually.
Oh my God. I should watch them all
brush
again.
up. Yeah.
But
Dang
realistically, like, I don't know. I know there's some horror movies that like definitely messed me up. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't recall what they are at this moment.
Tisk. You'll have to think of it for next Thoughts of the Week that you won't remember to do.
Tater tots of the week. Tater tots for the week.
While Brian is not going to think of an answer, therefore I win. I win the Dylan Pollock moment.
You do. You win this one.
Let's go to the Podtower YouTube channel and read some comments off of last episode. Tiger, or Twiger. It's pronounced Twiger the second time. This is from Dylan Pollock. Dylan Pollock. I forgot to do that. Yoppie birthday, Brian. Show us that Tin Man drawing, you cowards. What are you hiding? I guess we should do that at some point.
Yeah, I can send that to you if you want to post that somewhere.
I guess, yeah. James, the way we keep repeating each other is just another reason why I should be recording with you guys. Also, to stop the unending calls of the people. Apparently, in the DCAU, if you like any animals more than people, you will inevitably turn yourself or others into that animal. Actually laughed out loud at Dicks Out for Garth. Lastly, how many furries were created by this BTAS episode? At least 3, I think. Unless you count Man-Bat in the episode also. I don't know.
Oh, my God. I forgot about Dicks Out for Garth.
Yeah, it wouldn't have caught traction, honestly. Scotty Cameron says, Yoppie birthday, brother Broderick Brick Brian Broderickleys. Tiger will always be a strange but good episode. I always felt bad for Tigress at the end of the episode. It's a shame they really didn't do anything with him after the episode. I didn't know about there being an Arkham Knight reference to Tigress. I know of references to other characters who originated from BTAS in the Arkham games. Sadly, there are no Sewer King references in the Batman Arkham games. Speaking of Batman games,
sad?
I guess I should plug. There's a video. Let me find the link real quick. Worst. Oh God, spell James. Worst Batman the Animated Series episode.
WURST.
Yes, this is by Brian McDermott on YouTube. Go check it out. It's a new video. The worst episode of Batman the Animated Series. I haven't finished the video yet. I was going to send it to you afterward to make sure there's no like future spoilers, but he's discussing the Underdwellers in this video.
Yeah.
However, I think you'll be disappointed because he's putting quite the positive spin on it. He makes a lot of good points. But
Is his name? You said his name's Brian?
Yeah.
I think we should have a battle.
What a shame, man.
I challenge him to a battle of the Bries.
I think it was just it was a funny juxtaposition with how much we laughed and tore it apart and horrible things.
Right.
Speaking of Batman games, Dylan's comment about Tigress and Batman in a cartoon freefall fight reminded me of how the final boss fight in Don't say spoilers, Scotty Cameron. You do this too much. The episode Dreams in Darkness name drops the Joker's real name, Jack Napier. I will always find it weird that the Joker was given a real name in the show and it's rarely even addressed. Then the spoiler. I saw that cover of Batgirl and Supergirl. Thought they looked like they were from a Limp Bizkit music video. As always, stay yoppy. Are you looking for ants all over your desk?
I'm looking for ants in my area.
Ants.
They have descended upon me, listener, and I am in mortal combat with them.
There's a bunch of fidget spinners around. Ants.
That's me squishing all of them.
Yeah. Pillin Dalek says, Yoppie late birthday, brother Brickhouse. Charles Motosierra, it's weird that Scarecrow trying to fill the waters below Arkham Asylum to intoxicate Gotham's water supply became a recurring thing after this episode. I'm thinking of Batman Begins and the 2009 video game Batman Arkham Asylum, but there's probably more examples. Yeah, I mean, I didn't ever really realize it came from this cartoon episode because it's so common, but I guess that predates the other things, you know?
You should know about timeline stuff.
I should know about everything. Thank you for texting me a Tin Man image.
Yeah, no, you can share that. We should. I'll
share it in the
get permission
podcast
from Billy, and then maybe we could tag her in.
I'll take down a previous episode of the podcast and re-upload it. In its place, one frame of that episode will have the Tin Man image, and it's your job to watch through every frame of every previous episode several times until you find it. Okay, listener? Ashley Tutchin says, it's funny you should mention the way they avoided saying things like, oh my God, because I distinctly remember that phrase being used in a certain DCAU movie that Brian won't see for another 40 years from now, whenever now is. I remember it because
now?
As a kid, yeah, it's the present. I remember it because as a kid it made me feel like I was watching a grown-up movie. No net plays. I agree, James, about the interruption thing being annoying. It's talking about the oral, that's the sort of stuff. It might be a bit worse for this show because they all recorded together in one room, so there was probably less post-processing and probably would have required a few takes to get the timing right. I would say that would enhance the ability to do it right because you're all standing right next to each other. You could easily interrupt. But I also understand maybe you're not supposed to overlap because of room tone or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Tip Tapricot says a fusion of Brian, James, and a cat. Call that a Meow-Neely Strecker. Batgirl Fangirl says,
I love that. It's so lame. I love it.
Happy Yoppie belated birthday, Brian, from last week. I wonder whatever happened to poor Garth. He didn't even have a cameo in the Batman and Harley Quinn movie. Batman really should keep a fire extinguisher in his utility belt, as the majority of episodes end with something bursting into flames.
That's a good point.
That was a pretty big clunky thing to get. Just a a travel-sized fire extinguisher. Another great episode.
It's a reverse inhaler.
Yeah.
It's an exhaler.
That's the sound it makes. Human sound. Looking forward to the next one as usual. Thanks, Dylan, Pillendolic, James, Brian, Cooney, Phoenix, Scarloey, One, Scotty, and listener. 5 stars and 5 tiger emojis. Okay. Aussie Dragoon says, oh boy, it's the return of the evil gun. Remember, people don't kill Wayne's, guns do. It reminds me of that Watchtower database video from a while back where there was apparently an idea to treat that gun that killed the Waynes like the One Ring, straight down to having to destroy it in the forge that created it. Damn you, evil gun. Yeah, that's a story called The One and Only Gun Story that was too dark for the show, and so it never got made into an episode. And it's just following the history of the gun that killed Bruce's parents.
Wait,
and all this stuff.
Being serious?
Yeah, this is a real thing. We have the script, so at some point we're planning to do a radio play style rendition of it.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun.
Do I get to play a part?
Sure. Yes, you do now. Also, looking back at Tiger, it's funny that it has such heavy Island of Dr. Moreau vibes, considering that Val Kilmer didn't return for Batman and Robin because he decided to do the equally bad, if not worse, Marlon Brando Dr. Moreau movie. Everything comes full circle in Batland. Bountiful, belated big bus birthday, brother Brick Broderick. I hope you and Dylan Pollock had the time of your lives. It is the ya pee pee poo pooest day of the year after all. There's
James,
no stopping this Aussie Dragoon.
Not only do I appreciate the comments, but I appreciate you, Jamie, reading them.
And this deadpan, yeah, pee pee poo pooest day. Yeah, I get to relay that to you. Wency209 says, Yoppie yesterday birthday brick, here's your late present. And it's a emoji man throwing a shit ton of other emojis into the ether. There's a
nice.
a bat, a taco, a penguin, a clown, and a mailbox.
Perfect. That sounds like the best combination.
Yeah. Also, I'm just drawing some stuff for a comic I'm working on. That's all. Pee pee poo poo. Thank you. Kate Tastic, I can't believe my entire massive comment was read out. I keep having that many thoughts. If I keep having that many thoughts, I may need to learn how to speak and send in audio messages instead. It was confusing to me that Tigress is said like Tigress, a completely different DC character. Yes. In the future, we will talk about that because it's the future now?
No, it's the present.
Oh, sorry. Tigress is a different character. We already talked about this in the past, present, future. But we're in the future, present. It will.
I remember that conversation. I have no idea where it is.
It's in this episode, I think.
Is it
in the future, past?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
It happened. But
Days of Future Past. Nick Sorensen says, this was certainly an interesting premise for a BTAS episode. The design of Tigress reminds me a lot of Talon from Disney's Gargoyles. Another action-adventure 90s cartoon that I've watched a lot of, only without the wings. And Catwoman pretty much became Cheetah without the spots. Yes. Channel 99 Productions says, I don't know, I really dislike Tiger. I appreciate the reference to old school horror, but it's a bad episode. I feel like Channel 99 Productions and we just we're not on the same wavelength.
Hey, Jamie.
Uh-huh.
I realized, I don't know when, but my computer stopped recording.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I got like almost 16 minutes of recording.
Better to catch it than not, I guess. But
I suppose.
I'm just catching you in the I wasn't ready. Oh, there's ants. The computer's exploding.
If this was the Batman world, like my
Yeah.
laptop, this
would be on
laptop over
fire.
here would be on fire.
I
many
dropped
ants.
an ant on it and it started exploding.
Good thing I've got an
Okay,
exhaler handy.
Right. Or whatever the sound was. Anyway, Scarface Nate says, also, I fucking love Dreams and... Oh, sorry. I got this backwards. Scarface Nate always leaving multiple comments, and they're in reverse order. Hey, Jim Jam and Yoppie Birthday Brick.
Yo.
Nice episode of the podcast, as always. I like Tigger. It has a sort of Frankenstein James Bond feel to me, like I'm watching a science fiction movie or novel. This episode feels like the most dangerous game, with a man being chased on a dangerous island. I had a burp in the middle of that. The later references and importance of this episode. Also, I love the tie-in comic that's blah 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 blah. Stop it. Stop leaving spoilers, for the love of God. I'm reading these for the first time. I'm going to end up saying a thing. Consider anything that is in the future of this a spoiler, okay? If it's past the... Brian hasn't seen any of this. Stop! Thank you.
Listener, for the sake of Jamie, please stop with the spoilers.
I give this podcast 5 tigers and 5 gorillas out of 5 gorillas. Also, I fucking love Dreams in Darkness. It's a fantastic episode that's amazing in every way, especially the infamous dream sequences. I love that the plot is similar to Batman Begins. I think there was also a deleted concept where Scarecrow poisons Batman and the water supply and 6 Gotham's criminals on Batman like the movie as well. There's not much to say about it other than it's amazing. Also, in response to Dylan's voice message, yes, I still think of Jim Cummings as Shocker. Whenever I hear that name, I just think of Spider-Man yelling, Shocker! You should look it up, Jim Jam and Brick, if you're intrigued. There's a video of it on YouTube. Yeah, it's called, like...
I'm intrigued.
Most, or like worst overacting, or something like that. Okay. It's just the guy voicing Spider-Man, like, way too mad. Kevin Ranke. Did I do that right? It's been a while since you commented. Yoppie Centennial last week, Brick. What a terrible birthday gift to watch this episode for the first time. This is another one of my least favorite episodes. Pretty dumb all around to me. Edit. I posted my comment a few minutes into listening, so I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I mean, we're going to continue to have different opinions than the listener, but I'm glad that the listener continues to be a listener. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And then lastly, we got Zion Grayson, who says first.
Nice. Did they actually say first?
Yeah, but there's more, but I'm not allowed to read it because it's the first comment. I don't make the rules, as I say.
Jamie, you do make the rules. Is it a good comment?
Yoppie late birthday to Brick. Edit. Oh crap. Also first. Are you happy, Brick?
I'm very happy.
Okay. That's all the mail.
Hey.
We get to stop doing this now. We get to go back to the future, past, present.
What?
Back
What?
to the past.
What?
Got to get back. Bye.
Bye.
But welcome. Here. Oh.
Here we are. And a 3 and a 2 and a 1 and a 0 and a -1 because it's the past and a -2.
Stop.
Go. -3. Zoom.
Oh, is that us coming back from the future?
Either way.
Zoom. Whoa. I'm flying the Bat-Wing in a canyon.
Okay. Good mail segment.
Good mail. I haven't heard it yet, but I will.
Dylan, you did great.
Thank you, Dylan.
As always.
I hope this was the one where he forgot to send a voice message again.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Well, that's the episode. If you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of Cat in the Claw Part 2.
Two.
You almost
Whoops.
had it.
I almost had it, Jamie.
Email us at podcast@watchtowerdatabase.com.
Yes.
You can also send a voice message that way or at anchor.fm/Bat-Wagon.
Yes.
Now, while I'm thinking of Anchor, would you like to plug a thing that you're doing?
Oh, when does this come out? Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have all the problems figured out by then.
You don't have to plug a thing. We're just teasing that there's a thing to be plugged in the future. I just feel like we're going to record a bunch of episodes right now.
Yeah.
And you should do that regardless. And I'll cut this part out if it's not ready yet.
No, it's ready enough. The trailer is up.
Yeah.
It is not on every platform. But, dear listener, Jamie and I are breaking up forever.
Oh, I had my hand ready for the Brian starting a podcast by himself button, but I guess I just gave up the secret.
I am actually starting an additional podcast. We're not breaking up. Nothing is happening here. I wouldn't dream of that.
We can't possibly let you go do your own thing and bring in Dylan Pollock on to jump on the Bat-Wagon.
Wow.
I would never.
Wow, that might be. I mean, I'd be interested in hearing an episode.
Just me and Dylan.
Yeah. Or maybe it'll be the three of us. We'll actually
Don't
have
say that.
Dylan
You're gonna
on.
get him excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do that with every week's gonna be a different listener. We're gonna have a special guest
Every single week. It's
right in to
someone
claim
else.
your place. Anyway, yeah, plugging. So I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing a podcast, which is not very this style. It's a lot more in the style of like Radiolab or This American Life or like Heavyweight, I suppose.
I know some of those words.
Good job.
Thank you.
It's called Next Best, and it is about I haven't thought to like I haven't had like
Come up with the
like a catchphrase or anything.
We're watching through the entire Next Best and controversial here.
Yeah, Next Best is gonna be it's a podcast about basically like people who didn't come first, like, you know, not even just necessarily say like the underdogs, because like
The underdwellers.
or underdwellers, but
The wee green people.
the idea.
Sorry. I'm sorry. My job is to derail. All right.
Speaking of derailing,
I'm going to drink water and let you do your thing.
one of our listeners wrote me on St. Patrick's Day and asked if I saw any wee green people. And then I had to explain that I'm a rather tall person, so anybody wearing green is pretty much going to look like a wee green person.
I'm wearing green right now.
That's not really green.
This is greener than the green you're wearing.
It's a heathered. You want to bet?
Yeah.
That's yours is more blue.
No. The listener agrees.
so
They can see it.
Podcast. Re-railing?
Go subscribe to Brian's podcast on the places.
Yeah, there's like a 2-minute trailer out. You should go
Next
listen
Best?
to it. It's called Next Best.
With Brian
It should
and
definitely be on at least Anchor and Spotify. I'm having some problems. I've written with Stitcher and Apple's giving me problems. But
you said you were having problems with Apple Podcasts. I also had problems with this podcast for Apple Podcasts where I submitted it. They said, about a 1 week turnaround, like on the agreement or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't there in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I had to I can't remember what I did. So
Wow.
I'll try to track down my email chain to figure out what I did to make it work. So
Mine is like immediately failing on every front.
Huh.
I was like, signing up. That's great. And I like signed up or like put in my information. It was like, there's a problem, but there wasn't actually like a problem. And then so I went to resubmit it, and it took me to the next screen as if it submitted it correctly. And then it was like,
but it's not there.
I'll show you later.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, if you guys want to go listen to the trailer and subscribe, that would be super cool. And
you said you wanted to try to get 50 people to subscribe before you did the first episode.
That's that's a soft goal.
If everyone listening goes and does that, you don't even have to listen to it when it starts.
I mean, you should listen to it.
Yeah, you should.
It's going to be great.
It is.
And
you don't sound confident, but it's a pretty cool concept, I think.
I'm pretty pleased with like everyone I've talked to personally about it. Seems to like genuinely be kind of like taken aback and like, oh, that's a really cool idea. So I have some like.
I don't think you've technically explained what it is right now. Just now.
Oh shit!
I think you just said the title and that's it.
Well, I was mentioning that's like people who don't. Basically, people who don't finish in first place, and not just like in sporting events, but other things. Little teaser trailer there. It sounds like we might actually get Jamie here as as a guest.
You
on
know
the
what
show.
I should just do is play the teaser in this episode.
Oh,
or part of it maybe.
Okay. Do you want to like cut this stuff out and just be like,
no? How about I don't? And you'd have to go listen to it on Brian's platform so he gets listens.
Oh, that's actually that's a
better.
good point.
That's better.
That's a good point. Yeah, go over there. Maybe you could put a link somewhere for me.
Yeah, link in the description. Okay.
Thanks, and thanks, listener.
Thank you, listener.
What now?
New episodes of this podcast that's already going and better. Just kidding. Are out every Friday on the Podtower YouTube channel, youtube.com/thepodtower, and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Stitcher and Anchor and Google Podcasts and your own brain. When you think of it, think about it right now. There it is.
Yeah. You can just
there
you're just thinking
you
about
are.
it, and then it's here. It's in your head.
Yeah.
And also, maybe if you're playing it out loud, it's in somebody else's head too.
Next episode is called something. Hang on, I got to get back to the right document.
I'm waiting.
It's called...
What's it called?
Beware the Gray Ghost. What do you think this one's about?
Gray Ghost.
Beware the Gray Ghost.
Does Tigress come back?
Tigress.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Tigress,
sorry.
you idiot.
No. Someone had commented on. I think we'll have read it by now in the mail. My brain's backwards, but someone had commented saying that like, oh, it's weird hearing the name pronounced Tigress because Tigress, Tigress, like a female tiger woman person. Is a completely different DC character. I don't think shows up in this universe. I'm like 95% sure is not part of this, but so whenever we're talking about Tigress on the episode, they just kept picturing that character.
Oh, shoot.
So when you're like, Tigress returns, I'm like, Tigress isn't in... Oh, Tigress. Not Tigress, Tigress. Tigress. Tigress Wayne. So, yeah. That's your guess? Tigress returns?
Yeah,
Two
why not?
episodes later?
I mean,
guess the Mad Hatter
it could
came
be
back
100.
2 episodes
Who knows?
later. Yeah, that's true.
This is the 32nd episode to air and the 500th produced.
Yeah. I don't even know if there's that many in the total DCAU.
There will be.
Oh, okay. Yeah, by the time
Spoiler
when we
alert.
catch up to the end of what's existed, by that point there will have been 600 more episodes, and we'll be at number 500. That's how math works. Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
He was right all along. This time, see if you can keep him in there.
There you go. As simple as that.
Thanks, Alfred. It's good to know I'm safe here.